You're silly. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Little freak. Gal, you done? Oh, it's cold. Hi guys, welcome back. I hope everyone had a really lovely Christmas. Today is Boxing Day. We are straight back to it. Which, not gonna lie, it's not my cup of tea. I quite like family time at Christmas, and I have a mum that lives 3 hours away, grandparents that live 3 hours away, a dad that lives 4 hours away, and quite enjoy normally just spending time out. Even Chris's dad, so Chris's family are like, so my family are townies. So, like, to put it into perspective, my mum literally, her garden like backs onto my Uncle Paul's garden, and my nan lives in the next street. They're very like, they obviously don't have this kind of lifestyle or anything like that, and they certainly don't have 15 dogs. Just totally different lifestyle. Whereas Chris's family have, like, Chris has grown up in this lifestyle. His dad ran a shoot at home. They had their own shoot, and then his granddad had the shoot before, and yeah, so it's just been Chris's life his whole life. And even Lawrence, my father-in-law, this morning was like, well, I wasn't gonna come today, to be honest, because it's Boxing Day, but I've come because I've, like, you know, it's obviously our day. It's a day at home, just to support his son, basically, which is nice. He comes to every day. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea to be out on a shoot on Boxing Day. Some people love it. Some people love a Boxing Day hunt. Oh, that is terrible lighting. Yeah, some people love a Boxing Day hunt, a Boxing Day shoot. I think when it's maybe when you're like just sort of, maybe when it just consumes your whole life, maybe it's not too bad. But or different people, again, I mean, loads of people have jobs that they have to do on Christmas Day. The world doesn't stop, does it? But I like my world to stop at Christmas, personally. I quite like having that time where I can prioritise something a little bit different, and that priority becomes my family friends. It'll be a nice day. It's lovely weather. It's cold but sunny, so it'll be a good day regardless, I'm sure. And then tomorrow we'll just have our Boxing Day, and I'm going to see my dad a different day, and I'll go and see my grandparents a different day. But my mum, I was very, very lucky. My mum obviously we had our Christmas cruise, and also my mum came up for Christmas Eve, which was really, really good. She's never done that before, but I was really appreciative of that, because Chris obviously can't really, like, we are tied to home. We're tied to home anyway, with the dogs and with pheasants and partridge and shoots. So yeah, it means a lot. And Chris's family are only an hour away, up to theirs for dinner, and then came home. So it wasn't too bad. And yeah, now back to it. Now back to shoot days. So I thought I'd bring you guys along again. It's only a little day. It's only a 100-bird day. So hopefully it's just a nice, easy day, easy run day. I normally take 2 weeks off over Christmas anyway, and I don't do any shoots bar ones at home. For Christmas Day, it was a bit different this year. So we used to live in the highest all year round inhabited house in England, and we were pretty much guaranteed snow. So whether it actually snowed or whether there was snow on the floor, I don't know whether there was snow there this year actually. Normally our Christmas days would consist of snowy walks with the dogs, but yesterday it was just a bit of a windy and wet one. It's really nice just to get all of the dogs out. Take Betty, because Betty is coming into season for sure. And so Betty is our terrier. She's been such a little bugger the last week, and we were like, surely she's coming in, surely she's coming in. And then we brought Tilly in. So Tilly, my oldest spaniel, injured herself on Thursday last week. She's got quite a large puncture wound, and Betty has spent the whole time humping her head scared. Take Betty because we knew it would just be a problem, and it's so nice to just take them all and just say nothing to them, just let them go, let them do what they want within reason. Obviously they're fairly good, they don't run off, they don't do anything bad, but just let them go and just say nothing and let them have a run and a play and just be a bit wild. So it's always nice to do that. So we took everybody. I did get a nice picture, I will insert it somewhere, of all of the dogs. It's really funny because all of my gun dogs are sat, and then the lurcher, who is about 14 or 15 or something, she does not sit, she doesn't have any manners or training really. She's just an old hairy lurch, and in the picture you can see she is just running around, and I just managed to catch it where she was in the photo, kind of. I've got Thor, Ragnar, Alka, and Jake. So Alka and Ragnar are brother and sister, but Alka's coming up 3-year-old. She was from Ada's first litter and Ragnar was from Ada's second, so he's not even a year old yet. He's just out for his 3rd shoot day. So he's done 1 grouse day, and he had his first shoot day out last week, and he picked a woodcock, so pleased with that. And on his grouse day he picked 2 grouse, so very, very pleased. Probably the fastest. Do not eat grass, thank you. Probably the Ragnar, no, do not eat grass. That's probably his grouse day was probably the most successful grouse day I've ever had for like a dog's first day. Picked 2 grouse, and it was like November grouse as well, so I was really pleased with him. Now is probably a good one to show the beaters. So you can see them all in a line with the flags, and they obviously drive the game towards guns, which are lined out down the bottom here, and then we've got a picker up over that side and then 3 on this side. This golden retriever, by the way, if anyone ever says that a golden retriever doesn't work well, I mean, she is some machine. Where's she even gone? She's away. Hardest part about positioning people for the pheasants picking up is to make sure that we're safe. So behind me here is a fenced barbed wire area, then there's a pen down there, and then quite a big wall. I was spreading the team out enough to cover areas to the point where no one is hopefully putting their dogs at risk. Personally, for me, I don't like sending my dogs over fences. I don't train my dogs to jump hugely. I try and avoid it, because what I don't want is dogs getting too confident or overly confident in jumping off their own back, being miles away from me, jumping a fence, getting hung in a fence, caught in a barbed wire, or tangled. Accidents happen, but for me it's not worth it. I'd never ask my dog to jump a barbed wire fence unless I can sort of pull it down or put something over it, and I'm there. So I minimally train my dogs to jump, because again, I don't want them getting too confident, too comfortable with it, where they're like, oh, when you're not there, I know I can just jump. I use a command for it, and ideally I only want them to be doing it when I'm saying to them, get over, because if anything goes wrong, I want to be there. I've had dogs hung up on fences before, I've had them cut on fences before, and it does happen. But yeah, it's not something I hugely train, and with clients I say the exact same. I get a lot of people say, oh, my dog needs to get more confident jumping, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's not worth it for one bird. Ideally, if you've got a good keeper and you know, the chute's laid out well and a good team and a good amount of people, you should hopefully be able to slot yourselves in positions where you can avoid it as best as possible. We always try to anyway. And yeah, it's just not something I'm hugely comfortable with. I'm not putting my dog at risk for a bird. I'm just not. Oh, there's Jake. Jake! Jakey! Come on! Jake! Come on! Bless him. Come on! He's a coming. Come on, Jakey! There's quite a few woodcock in here. If I can try and capture one, I will. Unfortunately, Anne didn't get back in time for the second drive, so we just got in to sweep it. This is what we're doing now. Well, we got in time before it started, but we couldn't get through the guns to get behind, so we just stood to the side and watched. But it was quite an easy one to mark out anyway, so it was not too bad. Didn't work out too bad, but now I'm just sweeping through. So what I do now is I will open the door for these guys, and they will wait there. You can hear May barking while I go and walk the dogs that were left behind today. First up is Cedar. There she goes. Go on. Next, I'm going to unlock the kennels. So someone asked for our dinner time routine. So I thought I would do it now. First of all, just taking out blankets because they will drag them out when they're put back in. Some of them will, not all the dogs do, but the pups do. So just taking out the toppers and blankets. So don't have a premium one, but I'll move this back. Keep this. This, when I worked at the kennels, at my first job at the kennels, this was what my old boss fed, and he actually like used Sneyds or Sneyds. I don't know which one they prefer, but people call it two different things, and I'm sure we used to just call it Sneyds. My old boss used the company to like design his own food, and then all the dogs that were in at the kennels could either be brought in on their own food or they could go on the kennel feed, which was this one. That one actually had like meaty chunks in it as well. This one doesn't, so it's just like a biscuit mix, a basic biscuit mix. So we just order. The good thing about them is that you can get them on subscription. So for us it's brilliant because they just come in, the money goes out every month and the food arrives every month, and it's easy. I also have a premium one, which is a chicken and rice. The only time I use that is to add extra. So everyone is based on this, like their food is based this, but if they have any extra, it's the hypoallergenic, because this can sometimes, if you overfeed it, just go straight through them. So anything additional when they're losing a bit of weight, or they just need a bit of goodness, or they're maybe in pub, if I've got a bitch that's pregnant, I'll put them on the other foods because it's a bit better. But this is a standard good food for me, so they're all on this. So I will do that. I'm just going to move it up. Away. I have 3 feed bins. This one, that's just got the other lids on, but that's where the puppy food normally is, but I don't have anyone on puppy food at the moment. This is the premium, and then this is the gold, which is the basic one. Dog's good, I'm happy with it. I did work with a small company, a woman that like designed her own feed, and it was really good. We were kind of partnering together, and I used it, promoted it. I paid for it, I just had like a discount. But it got to the point where it was costing her more to produce it. She having to put her prices up, and it just wasn't, it wasn't cost effective for me, and also it just wasn't right for me to be recommending it anymore. It wasn't something that I could justify using. It was a good feed, but yeah, I just needed something that was going to suit my pack and my lifestyle better than, you know, a £57 bag of food, or whatever it was. I know it was between £45 and £60 by the time I was like, right, that's it, that's me, I can't afford it anymore. This one I think is 23. If you get, the more you buy, the more it's discounted, and if you subscribe, it's discounted. So it works out really well for us. It works out pretty good cost wise. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to feed everybody. So Norse gets just 1 scoop of the gold. Next I have Oak, and she is on 1 scoop of the gold as well. I don't feed them any supplements. A lot of people swear by supplements. It's not something I ever choose to do. I've never used any form of supplements. I've tried them, I've tested them, I've been offered them to you know, sample and try, none of which I feel like have made a difference to myself or my dogs. So if I don't need to, I don't. Ada gets, funnily enough, obviously you've seen that everybody has had like a scoop. So Norse, Oak and Rune have all had the same, and Ada will get the same because I'm very, very simplistic. So you're like looking a bit podgy, I cut you back. You're looking a bit skinny, I increase your food. So if I increase the food, that's when I go on to the premium. So Ada just gets a scoop of normal. So I do the ones that have been out today. So Thor gets one scoop of each. He gets a big bowl, because he's really like, he burns off his weight so easily. So he gets quite a bit. Jake gets, at the moment, 1.5. Jake's a hard dog. He's probably the one that can very quickly go from being like really fit to either looking really thin because he's like a big strong dog, or looking really fat. So he's the one that I give, like, I'm like always kind of changing just by like maybe a quarter scoop or a half scoop. But he is the only one that can get extra of the, well, him and Aiden, but I don't really feed Aiden any extra. He can get extra of that and it does not matter. He has got a very strong stomach, which you can tell by all the manky bits of rabbits that he eats. I'm trying to think who else is out there. Ragnar's out there, so he gets one, and he gets a 1 scoop of normal, a half scoop of premium, a biscuit. Who else is out there? Colonel gets 1 scoop, and Alka gets 1 scoop of normal, and half a scoop of premium. And little Wernie gets 1. Colonel. Ragnar. 4. 8. Okay. Forgot about Aiden for a brief second there, hopefully. And I dropped my phone. So I'm going to do the house dogs now. So, the house dogs. So little Cedar, she gets half of the gold and a quarter of the premium. Betty gets a quarter of gold. Hoss gets 3/4 of gold. And May gets a full huge scoop. And that is all of my dogs and their dinners. Now I'm just gonna, Colonel's finished. Like a good little boy. Colonel. Pop them away. No, stop it. Colonel, good boy. I'm gonna pop these guys away and then that's them done, and then I'm gonna feed. I'm gonna feed and then walk my house dogs, and then I'm gonna feed myself and Chris. I don't know what we're gonna have for tea tonight because it's Boxing Day and I give all of my leftovers to the dogs, which Chris wasn't very happy about. So I'm away to get into some normal clothing, and then hopefully Chris will be home from seeing the guns and then we can have some dinner. But yeah, so feed wise, I think basically I keep them on the gold as much as I can. It's just a very basic feed. I keep things simple, and if they look like they need more, I give them a little bit more, and if they look like they need less, then I give them a little bit less, and it's as simple as that. It's always worked for me. I also don't, I get asked a lot, do you let your dogs carry extra weight before the season, increase their food before the season? No, I don't. I like my dogs to be fit as fire all year round. Obviously, they don't do as much exercise out of season as they do in the season. That's impossible. But I do keep them in as similar of a condition as possible. So I don't think it's fair for them to carry extra weight. People argue, fat turns into muscle and all that, and like that's fine. Like that makes sense to other people. That's fine. For me, I don't want them to have to burn that off. If they're muscly and fit all year, then they'll stay muscly and fit. It's just always worked for me. I just keep them the same weight, the same condition. They're fit all year round. I don't increase until they need it. So when they start to look a bit skinny or a bit on the lighter side, I simply just increase their food. And it's always just meant that my dogs stay pretty consistent. There's not very often I'm like, oh, someone's looking skinny. Yeah, but I just keep it very, very simple. It's always worked for me. Try not to overcomplicate it if I don't need to. I don't make things an issue unless they need to be, because it's a lot of work. If I was to be doing things just for the sake of it, then it would just add more work. And that's not to say that other people that do different things are just doing them for the sake of it. I'm sure everyone has their reasons, but unless I have a reason to do something, then I won't, basically. But yeah, anyway, I hope you have enjoyed another shoot day vlog. I'm obviously back to it now. Things are pretty normal. We've got New Year, but we're not really doing anything flash for that. I quite look forward to the new year. I love a new year. I love like fresh goals and fresh things to look forward to. And yeah, so anyway, I will be back, I'm sure, for another video soon.